All right, we're live.
Yeah, we are. Okay, so second episode.
Yep, a little bit delayed.
Yeah, a little bit delayed due to sickness and disease and whatever else.
Projectile vomiting.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Norovirus is not fun.
Yeah.
So, how you been?
Been good. Mostly working with Warhammer stuff though.
Hear that? I didn't make it out to AwesomeCon last week. Did you?
I didn't make it. I wasn't able to make it out either.
That's probably a good thing considering I got
Yeah.
what I got sick with.
Yeah, you would have been patient zero for con plague
Yeah.
or worse.
Anyways, I'm gonna hit that button. That's a delay in the button.
It's quite a delay.
No! No! It didn't work! No!
Oh gosh, did they remove it or just? Yep, it's been. Oh, the
I
YouTube
got
video.
you. I got you now. There we go.
Reach out, touch faith. Your own personal Jesus.
No, it's not. And welcome to KiltKast episode 2. I'm Shep.
And I'm Demix.
And we have some things, a good show for you. We were going to do this earlier in the week, but unfortunately I got sick.
Yeah, stuff happened. We got busy. Whatever. Now we're here today.
So, since last time, let's see, I think first thing we should talk about is, have you looked into the new anime season at all?
I actually haven't looked into the new anime season. I think I might have missed the last anime season as well. I think the last thing I watched was when Made in Abyss was coming out, and although that season, I think that was the, not this past season, but the season before that.
Yeah.
So I'm another season behind.
So there, I've been taking a glance, Tom Glancy at a lot of it, so.
Okay, Mr. Tom Glancy. What'd you glance at?
Speaking of Tom Glancy, of course there's Fullmetal Panic Invisible Victory that's coming out next week,
Yep.
the 13th.
And for those of you who don't know, we've run a Tom Clancy Full Metal Panic comparison panel because it's very similar in a lot of ways.
Soji Gato, the, writer of the Fullmetal Panic light novels, stole a lot from, Mr. Clancy.
Borrowed.
Hey, good artist copy, great artist steal. You're just gonna let that Steve Jobs quote just die right there,
Yes.
aren't you?
Yes, I will. Just
See-
like him.
Ouch. Ugh.
Okay.
So I think biggest one's probably Hero Academia third season.
I'm looking forward for a second season of the Seven Deadly Sins. Because they gave all the huge fans of that. I was a big fan of that because of the fantasy magic aspect of it. And then they gave us a teaser season. It's like they gave us a 4-episode season teaser, which essentially just set up the second season.
You mean an OVA?
It was 4 episodes, though.
That's an OVA. Well, like
They split it into 4 episodes. It's a Netflix series, and they had it split into 4 episodes.
that's an OVA.
Yeah, but if they did an OVA, they should have just had a movie. Like, a movie would have been better because then it's like, okay, they got a short movie, and it's like, that's good.
You can sell more. You can sell an OVA for more than you can for a disc of a movie.
All in all, it upset just about everybody who was a fan of that. Every fan that I've talked to who's a friend of mine has been upset about that. They're like, dude, I was getting into it, and then it ended, and I was looking for more, and I was like, only 4 episodes. Everybody's pissed. Everybody who likes that show is pissed.
They can't be as pissed as I am with what Aniplex has done.
What did Aniplex do?
They're putting out a one of the greatest shows of all time, Legend of Galactic Heroes.
Yeah.
70s sci-fi and helped inspire Star Wars.
Yeah. We've gone over it a few times.
They're putting out a disc set with like all the episodes, and there's a lot of
Like
episodes.
original release?
Yes. They're also putting out a new season. A new series. But what they did is they're putting out this limited edition box set for, wait for it, $800.
$800?
$800.
How many episodes?
It's like 80.
That's like $10 an episode.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, you can understand, like, people will pay like $100 for like a 25 episode show.
Yeah,
but
still,
that's already ridiculous.
that is ridiculous. That's why I don't buy the DVDs a lot of time, and I use streaming services because it's just more cost effective that way.
It's like, oh, I want to watch this. I have all this for like $10 a month, although you pay more over the long term.
Yeah, but still, I've got access to different things all the time, and it's like that's a whole conversation with streaming services versus DVDs. But it's like the only reason I'm not buying up DVDs, and well, I have bought DVDs before, but it's always from like a used bookstore or something. Like McKay's, we have down in. On the
We
other side
did
of
have.
No, it's still there actually.
It's still there?
It's still there. I was mistaken when I
Okay.
was claiming that.
Thank God.
Yeah, I was so relieved when I was wrong. I was like, I've never been more glad to be wrong. McKay's used bookstore is amazing. It's where we go for all of our stuff, used stuff.
But $800 is like that's a rent payment.
outrageous.
You can buy a car for less than $800.
Yeah, and it might work better than that box set.
But back to the season. So one thing that's coming out is they're doing a new Legend of Galactic Heroes anime, which has me excited. They're also doing a spin-off, a Gun Gale Online spin-off of Sword Art Online, which seems kind of interesting.
I saw an image for that. I didn't really look into it though.
Yeah. I'm not sure if SAO characters are gonna show up in
it's
it.
the short girl or tall. Was it tall girl goes to short girl or short girl goes to tall girl? I forget which.
Well,
one.
I know the short girl is the main character.
Okay, yeah. So the whole thing was, I think the part that I read was the fact that as a tall girl, she's really tall and she's insecure about her height because nobody's gonna like her because boys don't like girls who are taller, and it's what Japanese girls focus on a lot, I guess, in anime. And so she makes
That's a
Gun Gale
broad
Online.
stroke, dude. That's broad strokes.
It is very broad strokes, but it's anime. Anime is a lot of broad strokes. But she makes a short avatar, and that's about all I've read, because she's so insecure about her height. It's like, whatever. And I guess she wears all pink.
Actually, if you read the description, it's, yeah, tall girl makes short girl avatar, yeah, you're right. I could not into metric system.
It's numbers.
So, also,
New High School DxD?
yeah, they're doing a new season of High School DxD.
Okay.
That's...
I guess I should watch that. All right, Shaggy wants me to... That's where that arm thing is from that he was talking
Yes.
about. Okay.
You haven't watched High School
No,
DxD?
I have not.
Let's just say it's an actiony harem series.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at those tags.
Yeah, action.
Demon Ecchi.
Yes.
These are good combos.
So the main character gets killed by a fallen angel and has his life saved by a devil.
The last time I saw demons and any kind of sexual stuff going on, I got some Moonlight Bukake going on with some Berserk.
I thought you were going Bible Black there for a minute.
I was going Berserk.
And now I'm like...
Where there was a girl raped in autism
And
by
now
a
I'm
demon
go-
who was
now-
once his best friend.
And now I want to puke. There's a Steins Gate prequel or alternate ending to Steins Gate. Actually, I want to watch that, but I want to play the visual novel first, and it's just sitting there in my Steam library collecting dust, like a lot of visual novels are.
Well, then you should play that one.
See, actually, let me just pull up my Steam library to see how much crap I haven't played.
You know, that's a good idea for a segment. I know we always talked about doing a YouTube segment of Shep's Corner, where you just go over different visual novels, but we could also integrate that here into the
Yeah.
podcast.
Well, yeah, but it takes me like at least 2 weeks to play a visual novel because I'm a completionist.
You can alternate between doing an episode of the Golden Anime Review and an episode of the
We could do that.
visual novel.
I mean, like, and also like Fate Stay Night like has
I think we
more
got a third
words.
episode to mix it in there just to keep it
Yeah.
spaced.
Like for example, Fate Stay Night though has more words and like more lines in it than War and Peace.
Okay. That's a lot of words.
Yeah. Even like short ones like Katara Soja are pretty freaking lengthy. I'm not sure how I got the golden ending of Doki Doki Literature Club in like 6 hours. Except I used the skip button a lot.
You were the Shaggy was there helping you for that one, or was it?
No, I helped him
Yeah,
because
you
I
helped
already
him.
done it. I shepherded him through it.
Well, to beat a dead meme to even greater depths, you were filled with determination. Throwing that old school Undertale references. Can't believe how old that is now.
We're getting old, dude. Let's see, what else is there?
I mean, I know everybody's looking. I know a lot of my friends are looking forward to Persona 5 because
Yeah,
got a lot of Persona fans out there.
they just come out of the woodwork. You still see some Persona 4 cosplayers at cons,
Yeah.
which is that game is ancient. See, oh look, it's another anime about making manga or making anime.
It's not the
Comic
same-
Girls.
It's not the same one, is it?
No, it's a different one.
Oh.
But it's like it's K-On!
Man Girl.
It looks like. No, the Comic Girls. Let's see. 15-year-old high school student and manga creator who goes to a school for manga creators and joins a club. That smells like K-On! Except maybe they actually do what the show is about instead of sit around and drink tea.
I mean, you can't get much, like, less story than K-On!
You can. It's called Lucky Star. Another fine Kyoto Animation production.
And this isn't from Kyoto, is it?
I don't know. No, it's not.
Okay.
Because the creator's right here on this list. It's from
I would
Nexus.
have laughed if it was.
I would have
Oh, is that a
left.
Gainax one up there?
No. Oh, yeah.
Piano no Mori. 12 episodes.
So that's
Okay, that's an interesting description there.
two boys from very different upbringings. Son of a prostitute, grew up learning the piano, and then upbeat piano player. Okay. That also sounds like Fujiyoshi bait, though.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I forgot. They've got a new Cardcaptor Sakura series.
Oh, that is very nice.
So it was actually kind of weird. I went and saw one of the Cardcaptor Sakura movies a couple months ago in the theater, and it was kind of interesting, like watching Cardcaptor Sakura after watching Prisma Ilia. It's like, oh,
yeah, that gives you a little bit of a different perspective on the
just
female
like-
magical girl thing,
yeah.
the young magical girl.
And I just keep on expecting like Rin or Luvia to show up. It's like, no, wrong series, asshole.
I'm gonna be straight up with you here, Shep. I've not watched Cardcaptor Sakura.
Well, it's
I guess
wrong
that kinda makes sense
demographic.
for me because it's not really my thing.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, look.
New space one.
That's Legend of Galactic Heroes.
There we go. That's my kind of thing.
Oh, look, it's this show. Uma Musume Pretty Derby.
Oh, the horse racing one.
Yes.
I just saw a video today on Facebook of that. Like, they put a scene out, and it was with Running in the 90s. Of course, because the Initial D meme will never die. Initial D
Never.
itself may die, but the meme will never die.
Initial D is even trying to back away from the Euro beat. I went to see the new movies in
Yeah.
the theater, and like people were actively booing it because there was no Euro beat.
I mean, I probably would too.
Of course, they were also booed it because first they showed the first two movies, and then next week they showed the third movie.
Mm-hmm.
In the first movie, they skipped the entire race with which is the brother who has blonde hair. Ryosuke or
I think it's Ryosuke.
they skipped the entire Ryosuke race. The disc they had skipped.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and it skipped over the entire Ryosuke race.
Like, was it leading up to it and then just skipped?
It just skipped.
Oh my gosh.
And then they're like
Bleach all
meeting
over
after
again.
the race.
Oh, that would piss me off so much. Yeah, I would be so upset with that. I'd be like, no,
They
I do not accept this.
what they did to make up for it was they gave us a refund and then a ticket for a new movie.
I don't want a refund. I want to see it.
Yeah, I wanted to see it too. It's just like, no, I'm sorry.
Give
Our
me a
disc is
copy of the
busted.
disc.
Oh. But hey, I got bumper stickers.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
And I got to see the next one for free, which didn't skip. They must have used they must have pulled a disc doctor out of storage. You remember those?
Yeah, I remember disc doctors. I had one for the longest time, but they might have just also gotten a different disc or was on a different disc.
Or screamed at
Yeah,
the
or they're like,
distributor.
send us a new one. Yours broke.
Yeah. Oh, look. Mecha. Uchu Senken Tiramisu. Human race has extended its life field and great to fast.
How often do you see these two tags together? Mecha Slice of Life.
Gundam Build Fighters?
I guess.
Maybe.
But that's more comedy than Slice of Life.
Full Metal Panic for Mofu?
Yeah,
Again, comedy.
That one. But it's still this one has the comedy tag too.
But also, CNN. Oh, speaking of which, I found this. Gundam Build Divers.
Build Divers, yeah. I heard about it. Hey, another bike anime.
No, it's just the fourth season of a bike anime.
Oh, another season of a bike anime.
Oh, I forgot about this. They're doing a.
Sports animes forever.
Oh yeah, there's always sports anime, but they're doing a reboot of Cutie Honey.
Another thing I haven't seen.
Why are we doing a podcast together?
You gotta remember, there's a lot of things I haven't seen. I've been playing catch up most of my life.
True.
I've been a very sheltered child since growing up, and it's only until like I turned 16, 18 is when I actually started watching anime. So that's like less than 10 years of me watching anime, and I've got a lot of catch up to do. So I missed a lot of the older stuff. If it wasn't streaming on TV and I wasn't staying up to watch it, I was not seeing it.
So, see, they've got a Fist of the North Star kind of prequel, it looks like. Fist of the North Star Genesis.
As long as I get to see some
You're-
rapid fists,
Or, You're Already Dead.
you're already dead.
See, there's a new Lupin the Third. That should be
Another
interesting.
baseball anime.
There's always going to be baseball anime.
I know, it's like really big in Japan or something.
You think?
Yeah. Even Haruhi had a baseball episode.
Hey, I like the Haruhi baseball
It
episode.
was pretty good.
Of course, as
We'll
a
go over that
baseball,
later. We'll go over that later.
Yeah, as a baseball fan, I'm a stickler. I mean, as a baseball fan, I'm a sucker for baseball episodes. I even like the DS9 baseball episode.
I mean, one of my favorite baseball episodes was the Samurai Champloo episode.
That's actually just a straight up funny episode of shampoo.
Yeah, I know, but it was still a great episode, a great baseball episode.
I wouldn't say a great baseball episode, just a
To me,
straight
it
up
was.
good episode.
It was a good episode. But as far, I'm comparing how good baseball episodes are in general, and
Yeah.
for the ones I've seen, which isn't too many.
Honestly,
It's my
the
favorite.
of all the baseball episodes of series I've seen, nothing still beats the one of DS9 where they're doing chatter and Orf starts screaming, "Death to the opposition!"
Yeah. I just wish Gurren Lagann had a baseball episode.
Oh, Jesus.
That would've been funny.
What, are they going to hit galaxies out of the park?
No, that'd be at the end. This would probably be in the
I
first
know.
arc before they broke free.
I know.
Because the second arc got way too serious.
So you're saying that if they play underground, they'd be in a dome?
You could say that, but it would probably be above ground, and they'd probably be somehow fighting some beastmen.
Oh, look!
It could have been very funny.
Oh, look! Another card fight Vanguard show.
Haven't seen those either. I've heard of them.
Let's see. I think that's about everything that caught my eye for this season.
Scroll up through that list. Let me see some of that. New Duel Masters.
Oh, boy.
Card games without the motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles! Oh, look! Another
Future card buddy fight.
another anime that's designed to sell trading cards.
Another Beyblade show.
Yeah.
You're just like, and I'm done with that.
Yeah. So,
Lupin the Third, Part 5. Because we need more Lupin.
So, I think next up on the list is, I went to actually go see Ready Player One.
I want to see that. I have not yet seen that movie.
And so, just to give you, like, a little bit of a mini review, but I haven't read the book. What I heard was what I heard was the book kind of has a different feel than the movie. But how it felt to me was it was visually stunning. Like, I don't think it would work as well watching it on TV.
Yeah.
It was like an event. Like, I've seen Avatar on TV, not the animation, but the
Blue Aliens.
yes. Dances with Wolves in
It's
Space.
much better it's much better on the big screen, yeah.
Yeah. Lots of 80s nostalgia. I actually got a laugh when
I did see some of the trailers and a couple after the movie release trailers, which show a little more. And I'm like, okay, you definitely see all the 80s and nerdy stuff that's going on there, and it looked pretty nice. It did look very nice.
the soundtrack was pretty good, but there was like certain things like, oh, they're driving around in the DeLorean, and this is not a big deal. What? Like, oh, here are Spartans. How is this not a big deal?
It's because you can do anything in the Oasis.
Apparently, like, I enjoyed, like, I lost my ass over, like, the, mech fight. It was, like, Iron Giant and the Arc-7 Gundam fighting Mechagodzilla. That was amazing.
That's amazing.
But in the book, there were more mecha on both sides. Like, you had, like, Iron Giant wasn't in it, but you had, like, the Arc-7 Gundam, and, like, Evangelions, and, like, Mechagodzilla, and all this stuff, apparently. It's just like, I wanted to see that. Why wasn't...
Because
Did
they
they just
have a
blow all
budget.
Did they just blow all their money on licensing Overwatch crap?
Probably. Blizzard is greedy. Of course they did. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Wasn't Tracer in there? And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, of course. Like, they're gonna have blown a lot of money trying to get, like, they had to I'm sure they spent most of their budget, not even on the animation, but on pulling certain intellectual properties.
They...
Like, people are gonna hold on to those, and they're gonna have to pay to get most everything.
One thing that was kind of funny, though, was apparently, which isn't in the book, which makes it funnier. It was this entire, like, giant love story shout out to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is an adaptation that was hated by the author of the book. Stephen King, who wrote The Shining, hates Kubrick's film version of it.
Okay.
So it's kind of funny. This is an adaptation of the book that changed some things, that does a big homage to a movie of a book
That changed some things.
that changed some things that the author hated.
Yep.
But it's kind of funny. Like one of the characters like starts to like go around. It's like, no, get out of there, no. He's just like, I've never seen this Shining. Is it scary? It's like he finds out the Shining is effing scary. So honestly, so I had a good time. I'd probably give it about a 3 out of 5.
Which means I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 because I always uprate everything, and it's hard to make me hate something.
Meanwhile, like, I can go and say like, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's still crap though. 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 5. So I think we had some issues doing the Haruhi
Yes.
review.
If you watched our first podcast, we did announce that time that we'd be doing a Golden Age of Anime review. And this week we selected Haruhi Suzumiya.
The Melancholy of Haruhi
Melancholy of
Suzumiya.
Haruhi Suzumiya.
And we said season 1 broadcast order. Turns out neither of us watched broadcast order.
Yeah, because apparently for this show, there's 3 different orders. Because usually there's, 2 different orders sometimes for some shows. Like, usually shows keep it together where it's like, okay, the release order is kind of chronological order, and it's good, or at least it's close enough, and everybody's acceptable of that. But in Haruhi's case, it's different. It's like, you have the broadcast order,
Which
all
is
kinds of crazy.
completely out. The broadcast starts out with the movie that the SOS Brigade actually makes. So the characters of the show make a movie, and that movie is the first episode with no explanation in the broadcast
I
order.
remember you showing me part of that, at least part of it, if not the whole thing. But it was a while back. But then the chronological order is obviously chronological order where they pick and chose from the episodes just to make sure they had the correct order. Like, hey, this is the start. Now they're getting things rolling, and now things make sense in a. Okay, this is the timeline.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Haruhi doesn't make sense.
It makes sense.
In some ways. But then there's a third order.
So,
The order Shep watched it in.
So I have, because I buy things on DVD. Back before Bandai USA went out of business, I got the Bandai US DVD release of the first season of Haruhi Suzumiya. Back before they released the second season, so it says Haruhi Suzumiya, the complete series. It's just like, no, it's not.
Bandai.
So, what Bandai did was, instead of splitting up episodes, everything that's a complete arc they put together. So, for one of the episodes, it's a murder mystery. In the broadcast order, they split the murder mystery by putting a couple episodes in between. So you get this big cliffhanger, and then you go do something completely different.
See,
And then you come back.
I watched it in chronological order, so this is where Bleach lost me when they did this, like at the end of the Waco Mundo arc, and it's like, yeah, get ready for the Aizen fight. Suddenly everybody's back on Earth in the human world and whatever, and life is normal, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And that's where I dropped Bleach, and it would have been the same situation with Haruhi. I would have been like, no, I'm done here. But so the Bandai release order is like for that DVD is even it, as Shep said, it's separate arcs put into one. It's like, so you got 3 different release orders. You got the Bandai US DVD. I don't know if it was the same with the Japanese DVD release. And you have the broadcast order, and then you have the chronological order.
Except you can't really call it the broadcast order, because when they did the second season, they went and did the second season in chronological order, but they stretched it out for 24 weeks by saying, "Oh, we're gonna put this. We're gonna start not with the first episode of the new season. We're gonna show you the first episode chronologically. Period." and just showed the entire the second season is the first season plus the new episodes.
In broadcast order, anyway.
So it's like So the broadcast order is 1 through 12, and then it's everything. If you want to be technical about it.
Yeah, but you could also just argue the broadcast order is still only the second season episodes, not the one you've already seen.
True.
So
yeah,
but it was still just a huge cluster. So we ended up watching two different orders. So Shep's already watched all of it, so he knows everything. He knows all the parts of it. But I've only seen the...
I own all the light novels. I've read all the light novels that have been come out.
Yeah, I've only been watching it in chronological order, and I've just reached Endless 8. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I only say that because the episode says Endless 8, and I've heard of the Endless 8, and I know what the Endless 8 is, but I'm just like, okay, so I guess this is the start of that. That's where I am.
So yeah.
Let's get this review going. Other than the fact that we just tore it apart for its terrible release orders.
Also, one thing is, this series hasn't. There are certain things that just haven't aged that well, in my opinion.
In Haruhi?
Yeah.
It seemed okay to me. Like, it didn't seem totally outdated or
Well,
anything. What are you talking about? Which part?
By age, I mean, there are things that were okay in 2006 and 2008 that are not okay now. Mostly with how Haruhi cheats Mikuru.
Oh. Whatever. Get over it.
It's like Haruhi, just calm down. Then again...
Haruhi is over the top, but her whole character is over the top.
True, but... Like, a lot of it you can still write off. Like, I still love the show. I own all the light novels, for Christ's sake. But just watch it's like, yeah, this wouldn't have been as popular now.
No, it probably wouldn't have, but it was still funny.
I would say it goes... There are... You might not have seen some of these scenes, because we watched two different sets of episodes. There are times when Haruhi clearly crosses the line. Completely.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but...
Actually, in an episode I know neither of us have watched, when they're actually filming the movie that they make.
Yeah.
Kyon actually, like, there's a, scene where, Haruhi roofies Mikuru.
Oh, yeah, didn't see that.
And when Haruhi does it, Kyon, to try to stop it, almost tries to knock out Haruhi, and is held back by Koizumi, and it's like everybody's like, "Oh shit," because one, you don't hit women, but two, like, Haruhi crossed a line.
Yeah.
But it makes, but that does drive the plot forward, because it makes her, like, if Kyon's this livid, then that is what makes Haruhi realize that she's crossed a line.
Mm-hmm. But took about that long. Makes sense that she'd never get it.
What?
Makes sense that she would almost never understand that she's crossed the line a lot.
Well, part of it is, Mikuru is a doormat. Itsuki's just like, sure, whatever, you're God. How we gonna, do whatever.
One of them's just there to observe, one of them's a doormat, and the other one's like, if I make her upset, then she'll destroy the world. And I might not even know it was destroyed.
Meanwhile, Kyon has pretty much become...
Kyon's just sitting there like, what the hell is wrong with everybody? Let's just tell her what's what.
Yeah, Kyon has become the conscience, and considering that Kyon keeps pictures of Mikuru on the computer, that's not a good state to be in when...
Yeah, no, but he's just giving in to the desires that any man would have trouble controlling in that situation. It's like, you got an extremely attractive girl, And you've got pictures of her, and it's like, okay, I could delete these because I should delete these. And he stops Haruhi from posting them on the internet, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
But he's like, rather than just delete them outright, he's like, I'll just keep them in a not-so-hidden folder. With her name on them.
It's still, like... it's still not cool that he... Like, it's not cool that he does it.
No, it's not cool that he does
But
it,
at the
it's
same
like,
time...
it's understandable.
I wouldn't say
least.
understandable. I would say like you shouldn't make the excuse that he's a teenager, but at the same time we all know we were all teenagers once. We all know what got passed between teenage. We all know what got texted to each other, so it's real. It's real. It's not necessarily good, but it is realistic.
Yeah, it's, I was like, it's not saying it's a good thing. It's just a thing that happened. It was, as you said, the realism part.
And but once like Kyon starts to like calm Haruhi down, it's like they kind of become kind of cute, in my opinion.
I don't know if I've quite gotten that far, but
did you see the episode where Kyon has to go get the frickin' heater?
no,
In the rain.
I've not seen that episode yet. But let's back this up a bit here. We're going over a lot of things that we know because we've seen some stuff. We should probably do some explanation for people who might not have seen. Because right now it just sounds like, oh, they're kind of rambling about stuff that they know about. To the uneducated here, we're doing a very bad review.
Yeah. So, Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, if you haven't heard of it, it's about a guy, completely normal guy, starting high school.
A completely normal human.
Yes.
That's important in this show.
You'd think, oh, slice of life.
You'd think a high school slice of life, this wouldn't be as important, but it's very important.
So, he introduces himself, and then the girl behind him introduces herself like, if you're not an alien time traveler or Esper, don't talk to me.
Yep. Already setting the weird bar really high.
And then, that catches his interest, and he just, starts noticing things about her. And then starts to talk to her and ask her about, oh, why do you add another ponytail every day, another pigtail every day for the days of the week?
Yeah.
And then he gives her the idea, oh, if you hate all the clubs, why don't you start your own club? So she drags him into helping her create the club.
Which ends up having, unknown to her, by the way, who's looking for these things, an Esper, an alien, and a time traveler.
Yes. A time traveler, an alien, and an Esper all end up joining the club.
That's quite convenient, is it not? Well,
but she doesn't know. She just thinks they're normal.
Yeah, she thinks they're normal, but it's quite convenient that the exact things she's looking for happen to be in the club with her, even though she doesn't know about it. How could this be, and how could things be so convenient, other than just plot, convenience? It's because she's actually God.
Well,
according to some of the characters.
To use Fate Stay Night terminology, I'd say she has more like either a marble phantasm or a reality marble. TV tropes used to say, oh, she's so Genki she warps reality.
She has some crazy powers, we'll put it at that.
But she doesn't know about them.
They're unconscious, they're subconscious powers. It's like, if she has a desire for something to happen, it will end up happening. Or if things don't go her way and she gets upset, then bad things will happen.
Bad things almost happen.
Like end of the world things will happen. It's like, oh, well, the world now has upset me because some event upset me. I'm now going to remake the world because the world upset me.
Unless the main character kisses her.
Something like that. That was an episode.
Yeah. So, I think we've covered most of it. Do we really need to what? I think you've gotten a basic gist of it.
I've definitely got a basic gist of it. This is how the whole thing goes. Just different episodes, different days. Because the whole show, it's kind of got an episodic format to it. Because once you got the base premise, okay, she made her club. What does the club do? it does whatever she wants it to do mostly, but that's her. What she wants to do is because she finds the world to be very normal and very weird. Because she thought she was all super special, and then she went to a baseball game and saw a huge stadium full of people, and she's like, "Wow, this is only 2,000th of the population of Japan." And she's like, "Oh, I realize I'm just a speck of dust in a sea, in an ocean." And so she's all like, "Oh, I'm not special." So now she's looking for all this weirdness, and then the weirdness has started to happen, and that's what the show is. It's like it's just her looking for weirdness and weirdness happening, and them trying to keep things normal.
Essentially,
And
yeah.
that's the show.
So, do we want to
And by
like?
them, I mean Sean,
Yeah.
because
Do,
everybody else is mostly there to observe.
do we want to give it a preliminary score, or we want to go and like make sure we watch everything?
As far as season 1 goes, I don't know how is it a whole 26 episodes or 24 episodes for season 1 or
It's for season 1. It was 12. It was 12 and 12.
they split it in two?
Yeah, 2 different seasons.
Okay, because the one that I'm watching,
But you've
it's all
watched.
of them.
Yeah, you've
I
watched
watched up
part
to-
of
up to-
season
up to
1 and part of
episode 8.
season 2.
Yeah, due to chronology.
Meanwhile, I watched the actual season 1.
Sorry.
Let's not record it for. I would say like without.
We'll just do a preliminary one, and if we ever come back to it, we probably won't do an in-depth review of it. We'll probably add it as a small segment into our next anime review or next episode, whichever one comes first that we've actually finished the series on. Then, but for now, we can give it a preliminary review.
I mean, a preliminary score. Yeah.
Or score, yeah.
So I'm leading because I didn't see any of Endless 8, so I would say 4 out of 5 actually.
I'm leaning between 3 and 4 right now. I'm like, are we doing halves?
What?
Are we doing halves or anything, or any kind of?
Well, we can keep track of them somewhere.
Because I was leaning towards like.
We can do
I was
halves,
gonna do
like 3 fives.
3.5.
Okay.
Just give it a solid middle ground there.
Oh.
It's like, it was good. It was nice. It's like not necessarily what I'm into, but it's like that shouldn't really be a huge judge of it but I
Yeah.
was trying to keep, I don't know, even perspective there, but it was entertaining for what it was, and the opening theme, like the themes they have, opening and closing themes are amazing, and the Haru Yukai dominated the
Everything.
convention circuit for dancing for a while.
Everything.
And yeah, everything.
Did
If
you
it was,
see
if it was
the-
in the time of memes, it would have been more memey.
Did you see the school festival episode?
I don't know. I don't think I did.
That's sad.
Which one did they do?
That's the episode where no, you didn't, because in chronological, that's where they actually show the movie. Like they do,
'Cause that's what
they
were
make
doing
the
for
movie for the school festival. Then they do then the next episode is the movie. Then they do the school festival, and that's where they have the concert.
Oh yeah, that thing.
And it's actually funny. The concert is what inspired Kyoto Animation to pick up the rights to do the anime for K-On!
That's amazing.
That episode was beloved.
Yeah.
Of course, that's
that's what you should do.
That's when-
we'll make an anime about this episode. What else do we do?
drink
Nothing.
tea. Drink tea. That's all they do.
Yeah, we were gonna even make it. We were thinking about doing a panel about the same thing. It's like, let's do a K-On! Panel where we just drink tea and eat pastries, and that's the whole panel. And we're like, this is an amazing idea, but terrible.
Like we would have. It's like that would be like us piecing out of the convention circuit because we could never do another panel again. We would lose all our
there.
what?
Not there. Not for whatever convention we did it at.
Or we'd have to do it at a con where we would have to do it
We'll
at a
just do
con
it-
where
we'll
we
do it at a
know
con where we don't give
everybody.
a shit.
What?
So, yeah, either a con where we know everybody, like literally everybody, or a con where we just it's a closed circuit of whoever's running it, and we don't care about them.
Well, we care about the audience.
We do care about the audience, though.
So it would have to be like something like people are in on the joke.
Yeah.
because the joke's on the audience, but so see, I think the last thing I have up for on the show sheet is over here. Let's just talk about like what our favorite types of anime are, since people listening to this for the first time might not know, or who haven't been to one of our panels might not know like our proclivities.
Yeah, especially since I was already saying Haruhi is not really my cup of tea in that regard. It's like, for me personally, there are two big draws, and I believe Shep already knows both of them.
Skates.
No, Skates is a, like, real world draw, and anytime I see it in anime, I want to see my preferred method of Skates. But that's not the popular version of Skates. That
he rages when he sees blades instead of quads.
I had a rage in the first episode, yeah. But my two big draws for anime are mechs and fantasy. And those are my two big draws. It's because I've always had a fascination with all things like medieval and swords and monsters and all that. That's why I love D&D so much. So that's a good time. And then mechs. And then sometimes you get both.
So,
Like, I believe Knights and Magic is one. And there was another one. But that was like a one-go movie thing.
so what would you say is your favorite anime?
At this point, I'm still going to stick with Gurren Lagann. Because that was just an all-around good time. It gave me a lot of emotions and stuff. Give me them feels!
So, I'm not sure. I have a particular genre that's my favorite type of anime. I like a lot of different stuff. Like I generally like shows that like make me think. Like my favorite show is probably Evangelion. I mean, it's definitely Evangelion. How many Rei Yamanami figures do I have? For Christ's
Not
sake.
enough.
I'm actually running out of space for anime figures at this point.
Not enough.
But I really like the Fate series, which has some of those fantasy elements. I love Haruhi. Actually, Kyon is my spirit animal. Like all these crazy
I remember you
things.
saying that before.
What?
I remember you saying that before.
All these crazy things happening, and Kyon's just a guy who deals with it by snarking.
Yeah, sounds about like you.
Trying to think, but I also like some really dumb stuff, dumb reasons.
I mean, I'm in a similar boat there.
Like, I own Camphor on DVD.
I remember that name. I don't remember what it is.
Have you seen Ranma 1/2?
Yeah. Or read it.
Camphor is like Ranma 1/2, dumber, more harem-y,
And that's the draw.
and just pushes the limits of good taste and fan service.
So, like, are we talking Fate H scenes?
I think it was broadcast. I'm not sure if it was. So not quite, but just like
Not quite the cringe level of Fate H scenes.
the entire show is cringeworthy. Yet somehow, for some reason, I enjoy it enough to own it on freaking DVD.
That's what I'm gonna do to piss everybody off.
What?
I'm gonna get the new Berserk seasons on DVD because that's my cringeworthy anime that everybody else finds cringeworthy, and I'm like, it's Berserk, and I still enjoy it.
Like,
And for those who might have not heard, there's a frying pan sword. Yeah, Berserk. Generally great. The manga is amazing. You know, most manga have, if for anybody who's read manga, you have those big, like the big panel pages, whatever, that show the amazing scene and are incredibly detailed. And most of the time, that's like they do a little less just to make sure they've got budget and time and whatever else to make sure everything's done right and well in that one thing, and everything else moves kind of quickly and it's okay. But Berserk, it upholds that standard throughout the whole thing. So everything is just amazing looking in the manga. And then they had an 80s anime, and then Netflix remade a movie, the before everything gets real Golden Age arc into like 3 separate movies. I don't know if it was a Netflix only release, but that's where I saw it. And it was a good time. And most people believe those are quality and those are enjoyable. And then came the 2016 and 2017 Berserk, which were part of the newer seasons of anime, but they were terrible CG animation. And it was all done on essentially, hey, I bet I could do this. It was almost like a hold my beer, let me do this kind of moment for the reason they made that anime. And things just didn't go well because the guy didn't have his heart in it or whatever.
Did you ever watch the, did you ever look up, like, the studio who did the new series? What else they did?
Yeah, we've been
over
this
all
too.
Magical Girl anime.
They're all like slice of life cutesy moe magical girl nonsense, and then you're just looking down the list and it's like, look at all this cute stuff. Berserk! Cute
Berserker!
stuff. Which is like the opposite of cute and feel good slice of life. It is the darkest, grittiest stuff you can get. So that's my cringeworthy anime.
See, but
or at least one of them. I have a tendency to like bad things that everybody else is like, why do you like this? Because it's hard to make me hate something.
This MFer came over, and he and one of our other members, Shag, came over and were watching one of the Zoid series, and I'm just sitting there like, this is so dumb.
Yes.
This is so dumb.
It's got that nostalgia feel. I watched,
of course.
That was one of my 6 a.m. cartoons before school. I watched that and Hamtaro.
Chris, I watched something dumber recently.
Yeah? Which one?
I watched the Digimon movie. Not the new movies, but the one that came out in...
Yeah. The first Digimon movie.
The only redeeming thing is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is freaking amazing. Like, the opening song is good, even though it's like, okay, this is bullcrap that 4Kids did. But it's also like, oh, Smash Mouth. Oh, here's Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Like,
that sounds amazing.
This is actually really good. Too bad the rest of it's just like, why? These lines suck. And what they actually did was
these lines are an eyesore. These lines.
Yeah, I wish I had eyes of death perception.
More fate nonsense.
Well, actually, that's Tsukihime.
More Nasu nonsense.
Exactly. So, anyways, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, I think.
Actually, before we go,
that's about all we had for today. But we can go over a few last things before we head out.
Before we go, so we're agreeing that at some point we're both gonna finish Haruhi and give it a final score.
Yeah.
And discuss some things.
That's the agreement here.
What's your pick for the next time we do this?
Just to give it a shorter, easier thing to do, and we discussed it during the first one, I'm gonna choose Redline just because that was brought up.
Alrighty.
And it's all around nice.
Alright.
And I think we yeah. But we'll get more into that for the next one, and I believe we agreed to put that 2 weeks away, or do you want to do that?
Let's do that next week, and then
yeah, because it's only a movie, so
we'll also start I guess we'll start doing maybe I'll start doing the visual novel review.
Yeah, we could plan and if you're not ready, we could plan the visual novel review for the.
Well, I got one in the tank now, so.
You've been through enough visual novels to have one ready to review.
Yeah, I'll do the one I played most recently.
Makes sense. Okay, so I think that'll cover us for this episode.
Alrighty. I'll see y'all next time.